You know, back in the 2000s, Jigsaw asked a question, and it's, do you want to play a game? Answer, yes, yes I do, but just not yours because I prize the value of my head on my shoulders.
Yeah. Also, your game's not very good.
Yeah, when it comes to the actual movie Jigsaw, man, woo, that was a stinker, wasn't it?
Yep.
I do like part 1 through 3, though. But anyway, the point is, we're talking about actual games, and in this case, horror games that we actually have played. I haven't played many games,
No.
but when I do play games, they
They're
tend to
mostly
be
horror.
horror related
Yep.
because, that's my thing. So let's talk about this, man. What is your favorite horror game, given that this is the season to celebrate all things horrendous? And by that, I'm not suggesting that the game is horrendous,
Yeah.
but rather that it is horror influenced.
I do want to give a honorable mention because
Mhm.
I don't have a physical copy to Call of Cthulhu.
Okay.
The 2006 version. I have not played the new one, obviously, as it is not out. That is a super immersive game that sometimes falls. Sometimes its weaknesses are the lengths that it goes to be immersive. As in, you can't freaking step more than 1 foot without breaking your leg, but it captures that feeling pretty damn well and rises above its limitations. But my actual pick, because I don't have that one, is Alien Isolation. Now, I wasn't expecting much with Alien Isolation because after I was burned by a Colonial Marines, I was like, man, this is gonna be a stanker. But seeing all the previews and all that shit, it looked pretty good. So I ended up picking it up because it was pretty cheap, like a week after it was out, which is already a bad sign. But I popped this baby in and was instantly transported back to the 70s because it captures the look of the first movie almost perfectly.
Down to the hip hugging underwear
Yeah.
on Ripley.
Pretty much. Down to the Big Mac walls. I'm serious. The Big Mac walls are there. And a lot of the game you have to go through the computer screen so you see all that old ass tech. You do play as Ripley's daughter
Mm-hmm.
after the first movie, and it's her own, side story. But what it does so well is it doesn't focus on action like all the other Aliens games have. It focuses on the horror, and it goes back to what made the first one so good. It's one creature stalking you, and there's only one alien in this game, and the alien is freaking smart as shit. It'll learn what you do, so you have to adapt to situations. You have to work your way around it. You have to be quiet. A lot of it is just hiding. There is other enemies, as in the working Joes, the androids that take care of the ship, but they're not scary. They're just obstacles for the alien. This is one of the few games in all of my game playing career, which is not a career because I don't make money.
Definitely don't make money.
Where I actually lose money. But it's one of the few that actually made me jump. And it wasn't a scripted event. It wasn't something that was meant to scare you. It was something that happened just organically. I was sneaking down a hallway, and suddenly I see the freaking the slime from the alien from the vent, and he uncoils down and stands up, and it just happened so perfectly. I was in the perfect place that it freaking scared the shit out of me. And that's what it does so well. Like, any little move will get you killed by the alien. And he learns. He's super smart. You have to trick. It's about tricking the alien. It's a long game, and you basically just have to get from one end to the other. And the finale is great. You see more xenomorphs, but it never goes into action.
There you have it, folks. A run and hide claustrophobic trip back to the old days of sci-fi horror. Yeah, it sounds pretty great, man. And I did read some reviews. In fact, I think one of our YouTube compatriots denounced this game, and you were like, "The fuck, man! Clearly, you were just trying to shoot aliens."
Yeah, that's the thing. This is definitely not a action game. This is a stealth horror game.
As well, it should be.
Yes.
So that sounds pretty badass.
You cannot kill the alien. You can't kill the alien in the game. You can fend him off, and that's the best you can do in this game.
Sounds pretty damn great, especially if you love the first Alien film. And if you don't, the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
It's classic. All right, man. Now, I don't have copies of games because, game is not really my thing. But I did used to have copies of these. And the reason they're my favorite is because they harken back to one of my favorite writers, Clive Barker. And you'd think that would make me pick Clive Barker games like The Undying or Jericho, but it's not. I'm actually not going to pick those. One, because I never got to finish Jericho, and two, because The Undying, although great, is definitely not my pick. My picks are The Suffering,
Yeah.
and on par with it, I would say Dead Space.
Yeah.
Both of which take a lot of influence from, Barkarian influence, Barkarian foundation, as well as Lovecraftian in the case of Dead Space.
And Event Horizon.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
itself takes
Yeah.
a lot from that. But anyway, the films are. The games are structurally kind of the same thing. It's you have to survive as hordes of uncanny creatures attack a facility of some sort.
Yeah.
It's basically the same concept, only in different locations.
They're all the creatures are based on the methods of execution, because it does take place in a prison.
Hmm. That would be the Suffering takes place in the prison, and
Yeah.
Dead Space takes place in a
Space.
station. So, yeah, but they're essentially the same game. Survival horror games with this tense atmosphere, point A to Z, ideal to the whole thing, but with these weird, mysterious creatures and what brought them forth behind the whole endeavor. And they have some genuinely great jump scare moments. Now, I know people shit on jump scare moments, but when they're perfectly crafted, they work wonderfully. And when they're not cheap, they work wonderfully. And a lot of the ones in these games legitimately worked. The sound design I found was fantastic on both of them.
In Dead Space, it's super immersive. Like if
Yeah.
you have it on in a sound system, it sounds great, and yeah, it makes the kind of simple scares actually spooky. In Suffering, of course, you're dealing with lower sound quality because of the age, but it still sounds great.
Yeah,
and the music design is badass in Suffering.
Yeah, the first time I ever noticed sound design, I mean, obviously I noticed by having fucking ears, but the first time
that's cool.
I took note of sound design in a video game was with The Suffering. There's a scene where our main character, the one you're playing as, is in a room and he is watching closed circuit camera footage of something creeping up on him. And not only are you watching yourself being creeped up upon, but before that you can hear the sounds as this creature, whatever it may be, creeps up on you from behind if you got your speaker set up. And it was just such a great moment. And of course you turn around and there's nothing there. And you call that a cheap scare if you want, but in an immersive game, it works wonderfully. And with Dead Space, there was the same kind of thing, man. You're just paranoid of every turn and every corner. There's that great moment with that necromorph that goes like this for no reason. They're just really immersive games in terms of what they're trying to do. Simple concept, done right. And those two are my favorite. They're just par and par. I mean, if you want better effects, go with Dead Space. But either way, you're going to win.
Yeah, I was close to putting Dead Space in mine. I think Dead Space 1 is the best when it comes to the atmosphere and the genuine spookiness in the series. After that, it got a little more action-y, but they're still great. But yeah, Dead Space badass. Suffering freaking great. I wish they would remake that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's something to remake.
I agree. I would play that. I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah.
Anyway, let us know what your favorite horror games are so we can get spooked, I guess.
Yeah. Spooks and spaffs.
That's how we're going to end that. Anyway, I may have that's Goontic. Hit like, share, subscribe, and those notification buttons because we're out.